Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like, we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
Get it into
down
Smith.
like
What a pass! God damn! Daniel Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We
So real year. Like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks in the season. You're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on that.
HG on deck, stats loaded and primed. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking
breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Oh, no. For the business. Did not for the business.
We see through the hype. Call out the Warriors.
So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
For your
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle. HG and Caveman back in the house for another episode. Got some exciting news for everybody, though. We got a new CBA being signed for the WNBA that is going to tie players' salaries to revenue made by the team. Man, 30 seasons too late, huh? As we enter the 30th season in 2026, It's about 30 years too late. Because that's pretty embarrassing. That they're this far in and they're not. Like we said a few weeks ago, that companies are able to run in the red for quite some time before they become profitable,
Yeah.
Like that's just crazy.
They should have been paying them a lot more, but they finally got it done, so that's good for the players. Good, good for the sport too. The more money the players are making, the better they can take care of themselves and everything, and they'll probably be able to play at a higher level for longer. It's just good for the game overall.
51 days away until WNBA season. This is exciting. And it's funny too, this is the sixth CBA that they've signed in league history. This is just the only one that actually benefited the players. Anyway, the last one that was signed in 2020.
And they don't do this often, so credit to all the work that those ladies did, campaigning for themselves and getting it done and putting pressure on the league to get this deal done for them.
I'm excited for them. Some good news around the league.
That means, they might start finding even more international prospects, which we saw that was a big source of talent for the NBA. That might help out the W, get some more talented players in there. Who knows?
Very true. That's very true.
World's their oyster right now.
Now this episode is called Where is Embiid, but we're going to get to the Nuggets and some NBA later on. But Venezuela beat Team USA last night in the World Baseball Classic Championship 3-2. Man, this entire tournament for the US, man, it's been some real offensive deficiencies the entire time. It was like clutch pitching and defense. That's really, really what got the US to the championship game.
Mm-hmm. Man, they lost that one game. I forget who it was against, and had to rely on another country winning their game in pool play to not get eliminated because they weren't aware of that. So they didn't really. They still made it to the final, but there was definitely some shakier performances. But this is really cool for Venezuela. They took down the two. I think the top two favorites in Japan and the United States, as well as the Cinderella story of Italy on their way to getting their first ever World Baseball Classic, isn't it?
I think so. This is their first win as well, their first championship.
That's why you play all the games, man. They were really by no means an underdog. They had some insane players on here. You've got Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's
Jimenez,
pretty good
Ezekiel
roster.
Torres, Eugenio Suarez, Will Contreras. There's a lot of really good players on this team. So, not a surprise that they were able to pull this off. They played really good. They had great pitching. They just really they had some clutch hitting throughout the whole tournament.
Suarez had the game winner RBI double in the eighth to finish it off, and then they just had one more inning to close it out. Ending it with the strikeout too on a high fastball.
Yeah, it was a cool video too. You can see I forget who was pitching. It was Palencia, man. Already he's he had tears in his eyes because he was already tearing up. He's one more strikeout, and we bring the championship home for his country. It's special when you're when you're playing for your home and everything. It means a lot to guys, to everyone really, who's that's why we love the Olympics. So Yeah, I mean, it was, we're American, so obviously we were, rooting for America. Bummed out that they lost, but I can appreciate it. It's cool. It's cool for Venezuela, and it just with everything that's gone on with their country this year. It's good that for them to maybe get a win, here just for the people back home. Um, there was just a lot of they obviously as a whole country had to deal with a lot of strife and difficulty this year. So that was, win one for everybody back home. It was give them something to celebrate. So cool story. We'll have a Team USA have a chance to get back next year, get back. I saw a joke that just cracked me up because it still just rings true. It's like you could tell this was an elimination game because you go and look at the play-by-play in the 9th inning and you see the words "Judge struck out swinging." Just guy just seems to never get a clutch hit when you need it, and they really could have used a homer from him when they were down 3-2 in the bottom of the 9th.
They gotten one from Harper.
Right,
in
Harper
the top of the 8th.
It was a double or a 2-run homer, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was to give them
tied it back up.
Yeah, they tied it back up with that one. And I mean, Harper, that was one of the guys who wasn't really having that great of a tournament, like batting. So that is hilarious, man. Clutch moments when you need.
I mean, the guys are great slugger, but it's just like I don't feel like he doesn't ever really deliver when you need a clutch hit. It's somebody else. It's always doing that. Like, yeah, he can hit homers in the first, through the 8th, but you need him to do something in the 9th. Forget about it.
I can't wait for baseball to start back up again for the MLB. That's going to be really fun to watch.
Right. Great World Series to close out a really good postseason, and then a really good World Baseball Classic. A lot of really close games, some crazy upsets and underdog stories, and then a great championship match. Like I said, too bad it didn't go our way, but regardless, it was still really great championship match, and we'll be back. Well, obviously we'll be back.
While we're at it, on the topic of baseball, I got up the top 25 rankings here for baseball and softball, and I'm pretty excited for this coming up tournament that they got. We're definitely gonna have to cover that. Got some new teams here in the top 25 that weren't really there last year. Southern Cal is 19-1. I don't think they were in the tournament last year at all. So they're new team emerging there, ranked 13 right now. They're on the rise. One of the only one-loss teams remaining other than Texas. But your number one team in the country right now is UCLA. I'll have to check. They must just have a stronger strength of schedule than Texas because Texas got the better record. But in softball, it's looking about the same as usual in your top 4. But this is interesting because down in your top 25 is Grand Canyon is sitting at 30-0 right now.
GCU?
There we go.
Hey.
So there's some new teams emerging in college baseball, college softball right now. So I might have to send some more time covering that here for the next month or two.
And once the College World Series, that's it's in May, right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, their season goes by so fast. You forget how many college baseball games they actually play in a week. It felt like their season started 2 weeks ago, and some of the softball teams are 30-0, played 30 plus games already. I feel like it just started.
Played like 27 to 30 games already.
But I'm excited to see no Colorado teams in the top 25 in here. But
well, Colorado's not really a baseball state.
yeah, despite
Hey, we did have there's a Colorado Rocky on the Venezuelan team, Ezekiel Tovar.
oh yeah,
He's, recorded
despite
two,
having like perfect altitude for hitting home runs and
yeah, he had 2 hits in the championship, but none of the wasn't able to come home, didn't get scored, but yeah, he was pretty solid. There's a big reason why they won that. He's like one of our best players. So.
I'm gonna have to see how many games this guy has played as well. But Aiden King, pitcher for Florida, has currently sitting with an ERA of 0 right now. I gotta check this guy out.
Aiden King for Florida. Man.
Oh, it didn't pull up a player profile. I'll have to see if he's just like a nasty closer for Florida, because dang, they don't even have it on ESPN. That's just messed up.
We're finding his. I want to find his stats. That's crazy if if he's genuinely been playing like. You said Florida?
Yeah. If you got teams that have played 19 games already this season, and he's got an ERA of 0.
There we go. Go to the Gators website.
Let's see how many games this guy started.
I want them stats. All right. Where's
that's
our
batting
pitching? Okay, here we go. Let me pitch.
There we go.
All right. 0.94 whip. 3-1. How many innings pitched? It's 23.
4 starts, 23 innings, and he's got an ERA of 0. That's nasty. How many strikeouts?
And look at Joshua. You can say that. Weird now. Also got a 0. ERA. Pitching, he's only pitched 11, but that's still pretty impressive.
He's 2-0. Now 26 strikeouts from Aiden King.
Wow, look at that. And what's that? Florida, they got
a nice rotation.
Pitching here, yeah.
It looks like USC as well, because they got 2 guys in the top 5, Grant Govil and Mason Edwards. ERA at 27 for Govil and .30 for Mason Edwards. So
baseball season it's upon us. It's almost back in the MLB. We got the regular season in the NCAA going. So if you're a baseball fan, that was your time, right? Time to return from the dead.
I'm gonna be living in Louisiana for the summer, so the main baseball I'm gonna be watching is for work, because there's no pro teams in Louisiana. I'd have to drive out to another city, go watch the Braves or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would the Braves be the closest, or would it be somebody in Texas, like the Astros maybe, or the Rangers?
If there's any team that's like in northern Texas, because that's where I'm gonna have to drive through like most of to get there.
Okay. The Braves or Astros are they're in the Houston area.
Houston,
and then the Rangers are by Dallas. So I don't. Yeah, maybe the Braves are closer.
But I'm gonna have the best seats in the house watching baseball for the entire season, so that's gonna be.
Yeah, no, you'll be all right.
I'll be good there.
All right, well, shifting focus a little bit over to the NBA. We're talking about him. Where is Embiid missing? He hasn't been seen in the city of Denver since 2019.
It's been a long time since
The
we've seen
last time he suited up and gone out onto the court to play the Denver Nuggets in the city of Denver. I was at that game last night. We absolutely mollywopped the 76ers. They stood no chance. I mean, they had no Tyrese Maxey was also hurt as well. And then I don't know where Paul George was.
He's been out for a while.
Yeah, I didn't have him listed on the injury report for that night, but I didn't see him. So yeah, we just VJ Edgecombe and company gave it a spirited effort, but Marjon Beauchamp was their leading scorer. It was, I mean, we took the lead and just never looked back. It was good to see, man. We finally had like the full starting five back for a few games, and they're looking healthier.
This was a pretty good performance from us.
Yeah.
Finally we're able to just close out a game.
The ball movement was crisp, but the defense was a lot better. Absolutely killed them on the boards. They sort of closed the gap a little bit in in garbage time, but I mean, like one point where the rebound disparity was like 27-9, like it was like 3 times what they had.
My gosh,
near halftime. So they shot 9 for 41. So it was just a really good game. Like that 3-point shooting that we were doing so well earlier in the season, especially when Jokic is out, was starting to come back. We had been just chunking good
48%.
Yeah, we shot 48% last night. I mean, everyone was getting in on the threes. You know, like Cam Johnson was really good. He hit 3 threes. Aaron Gordon hit 2. Brown hit 2. Bruce and Christian Brown both hit 2. Timmy had 2. Like everyone was just getting in on the 3 parade pretty much. And then Jokic, he just really didn't do like any scoring. He had 8 points.
He was just dishing it.
Just dishing it. 14 assists, which did lead to 35 points. So honestly, we're better when Jokic is scoring points through assisting. Like we're 31-1 when he assists on 35 plus or more points. So like when he's like we're 59-32 when he scores like 35 plus, which I mean is still pretty solid, but we're a lot better when he's just dishing out the rock. So I mean for him this was like as close as like a half day to work as you could get. He just pass it to his teammates and let them score.
Some pretty good work inside too from Christian Brown.
Yeah,
his scoring was great. He was just getting to the cup at will, getting to the free throw line.
His bounce is back too. Like I think
Looks
he's
healthy.
Really feeling healthy again. Like
he looks healthy.
Yeah, it's good. Like he's just a lot more explosive and aggressive when he going towards the basket and making plays, getting involved in rebounding and everything. So yeah, that's a good sign. I mean, like we got to get Peyton Watson back still, but like the squad's starting to get healthy. We're starting to play some more consistent basketball over these past few games. I know we lost to the Lakers, but that was definitely one of our better performances. And like even some of these games we've lost, like the games in OKC were close.
Like that wasn't even really a bad game.
No,
like it's more annoying when you're like leading for the entire game and then they just come back in the fourth quarter. Like at least they battled it out.
Yeah, Adelman just needs to stop making the game plan is to make some like guard guys like Luka and Shea 1-on-1 if they're taking the final shot. Like I don't like that. Wasn't those 2 losses just stink because I'm like, oh my god, why are we giving these 2 guys like the 2 best guards in the league single coverage?
Yeah, Luka's kind of pushed off Spencer Jones. Yeah. And that shot from Shea, Spencer was there. I mean, that's a hand up. The only other thing he could have done right there is block that.
Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, in situations like that, when you have star players, if you're going to let them take a shot with one-on-one defense, you might as well not cover them. That's what I say. Like they single coverage, they don't even, or just a single defender, they don't even see that guy. That's just what star players do. So,
especially when you get it's like an inbound play. That one to Shea, like that's just an inbound play where they just let him 2 screens up on the wing to get the ball at the top of the key and then let him go. He gets the switch and then you let him go.
Like you got to blitz him and force him to get that ball out or jack up a really uncomfortable off balance shot. You just can't let the guy like that pull up off the dribble and shoot. In a situation like that, he's gonna bring you every time.
And like Luka just got right to his spot down there on the baseline. Just a simple little midi. That's just too easy. I like the trust in Spencer Jones though. You know, let him go and make a play on defense. But he's a really young guy, man. We gotta help him out a little bit there. Double up some of these guys. Put the game winning shot into somebody else's hands.
Well,
Paolo and Shea freaking paddled. My God.
Yeah. I think it's really funny. I wanted to follow up on what Bam's done since scoring 83. And it was kind of just as I thought. His next 2 games, he scores 21 and 20. So obviously, he was probably seeing some more looks after that, but it was just really funny, you know. The massive drop off in the scoring. And then he was not present last night while his Heat got absolute BTA from the Hornets, who are now above 500 for feels like the first time since Kemba Walker was there.
There we go.
This team, man, they're playing good. 22 from Khan. LaMelo got to go kind of back to being the primary scoring option. He got 30 points and 13 assists, man. So he was still dealing. Diabate and Bridges both posting double-digit rebound numbers, controlling the boards. And then look at Kobe White off the bench with a 24-point bomb.
They got to keep building, man. There's no more dead possessions. They get back on defense. Like they run plays. It's not just let some one person ISO or let LaMelo do some crazy stuff. Like they actually look like a basketball team now.
This is a competent NBA team right now. I mean, they shoot they're really great at shooting the 3 ball. Like Khan might be the best 3-point shooter in the league right now. I don't know if that's that ridiculous to say. He's been just dynamite from there. But then they've got like enough athleticism to attack the basket. I mean, they're really versatile. They can stretch out the defense. So they're close to overtaking like Philly, who's dealing with a lot of injuries, and Atlanta. Like that, they could jump them in the play-in status, and then you know, as an 8 seed, you could probably beat Miami in one game. You know, you just did it. Like,
yeah, they just
get yourself a 7 seed and losing 5 to Boston in the first round. But hey, you'll be back in the playoffs, and I think you can get a game on the Celtics. I think this is a team that could get a game. They
need that this year, so next year they can continue building on it, and the next season, when everyone is back and healthy, they aren't just going to be that team that's outside the playoff mix again. Because it is a very big benefactor that there's a few teams that are missing a lot of their stars. And like there's some stars in the Eastern Conference are missing right now. But that doesn't excuse like how good they're actually playing. That they've gotten themselves above the 500 mark. They're playing a lot better at home. That was really their issue at the beginning of the year. They lost so many games at home. They're still 15-17 in their stadium right now, but that is a lot better than what it was like 2 months ago.
They used to have like no home court advantage, but it's slowly returning. I mean, people in Charlotte, they're getting fired up about the Hornets again. The Magic are, man, they're an interesting case for me, man. They're just so, I expected them to be so much better. They just can't seem to get past like this middling spot, but they looked pretty good against OKC last night. They just weren't able to close out that game. 32-10 out of Paolo. And the whole starting lineup scored double digits. You like to see that. They don't really have a lot of bench depth outside of like Mo Wagner. Or rest of these guys are just, it's super inconsistent there.
Jet Howard, Javon Carter, Goga Batazde, Noah Penda. I'd never even heard of that guy.
He wears number 93. That's just such a hideous number on the basketball jersey.
They don't have a lot of depth,
for rookie,
and it still feels like they don't have playmaking.
Yeah, Bame was really not that type of guy to bring a lot of playmaking. Like they play really good defense, but man, they don't have somebody reliable to run the half court offense. Like these possessions just get stagnant, kind of grind to a halt sometimes. Or like, it goes into like Pablo just trying to like Paolo trying to play ISO ball, and he's just not that great of an isolation scorer.
And yeah, him and Jalen Suggs currently leading in assists, 5 a game.
That's not gonna do it for you.
You gotta have a guard that might give you 6 or 7 a night, give you like 3 or 4 on an off night.
Yeah, like a team like Detroit, even Boston or Toronto, they'll just run you off the court if you can't play make like that. And I mean,
does that just means you have a lot of dead possessions, a lot of empty possessions? Because if you're forcing a shot that just turns into a swing, it's going to turn into like a 6-point swing for the other team, because they're going to go down the other court. You're going to go down to the other end of the court, get in a set, run their play, score on you, and then you're just going to come down and have some shot forced up from Paolo on the other end.
Yeah. I don't feel great about them making it out of the first round. I mean, they're currently 6th. So, yeah, like even like the Magic would, or not the Knicks rather, is who they play if the season ended today. I don't feel like they could even. They would get maybe a game or 2 on the.
They'd make it fun.
New York's playing a lot better ball now too. Like the
Orlando and Knicks series, like right now, they'd win enough games for FanDuel to make enough money back for the entire NBA season.
Yeah,
because everyone would be like, "Oh, look at this Magic going on a crazy run," and the odds for Magic is going to just be nuts. The betting lines for the Orlando Magic is going to explode, and then they're going to lose.
Yeah. It might be a little bit of a favorable matchup because they do obviously with Cat and Brunson, those are still some big defensive holes, but I feel like Mike Brown's done a good job of, getting those guys to play more help defense and keeping Cat and Brunson out of like action where they thought they struggled to defend in. Like they're not in it as much. So the Knicks have been on a nice little run. They've looked a lot better.
Yeah. And I mean,
post All-Star break.
the Magic have nobody. They have no depth as well. So like Cat and Brunson can just guard somebody else.
Yeah.
And then and everybody else can just pick up. They could literally just man up on them.
What are some other interesting performances from last night? I mean, I guess like centers are just going to start going off against the Wizards because Jalen Duren had himself a night.
36.
Yeah, 36 and 12. I mean, it's not totally shocking. Like, a guy like Duren can kind of score like that. But, yeah, it might be just the star centers are going to start feasting against Orlando, or against Washington, rather. I know Embiid, he'll suit up and be healthy the second the Sixers play the Wizards. We know that. You know, he's like, oh, Bam scored 83 against them. Maybe I can score 84. We know he doesn't have any problem shooting free throws.
You know, I can't even lie though. I think the moves that they've made, like they might be a laughing stock this season. They might be something to watch out for here pretty soon. They might be something to watch out for here pretty soon.
If Anthony Davis can stay on the court, I feel like this team could be really competitive.
Yeah.
But historically speaking, Anthony Davis can't stay on the court.
At this point, they just need to. It's the same thing as like what the Nuggets did for Nikola Jokic. They got Vucevic, not Vucevic, Valanciunas. Sorry, Val. Love you, buddy. Yeah, they picked up Valanciunas to give him a little bit of rest, right? And like, it's not because Joker couldn't stay off the floor. It's because we needed to get him off the floor. In this situation, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, we don't want Anthony Davis to get hurt. So we're just going to have a bunch of other big men. And then they can all be rotational and then everyone stays healthy. That's really what they need to do with him at this point.
Anthony Davis could be on the floor for 10 minutes and get an injury that causes him to miss 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks. AD actually stands for always damaged. Josh Hart scored 33 last night. That was kind of funny. Speaking of we were talking about the Knicks there earlier. Again, yeah, it was against Indiana, who's been absolutely battered up. So it's March basketball right now, where you just have random role players
going crazy,
or guys that don't normally score a bunch just popping off against bad teams who are tanking. So the whole Knicks lineup really went crazy against Indiana. They beat them by 26. And they didn't even have Brunson. It was Jose Alvarado starting for them.
What the? Hey, the hometown kid.
I feel bad for Indiana fans. So they were maybe one Achilles away from an NBA title, and now this whole season's just been terrible. Like they are not tanking. All right, like first of all, they deserve to be bad. All right, they lost their star point guard, and then their second best player left. Like they let them just suck for a year. They're gonna get healthy.
Good.
They made a move to bring in a new center, dude. I'm stoked. I think they draft depending on where they get, like they draft like Cam Boozer or somebody like that.
He would fit in there perfectly. Literally, you got
go play small forward next to Siakam.
Yeah, you got Tyrese at point guard, either Andrew Nembhard or Aaron Nesmith at shooting guard, Cameron Boozer, Siakam, and Zubac. That's a nice lineup.
So I have to interrupt you guys real quick because in our little private chat message, Jimmy Covers sent our friend, our colleague HG, a picture. I have to share it because it's kind of funny. And now that I said something,
well, I made a bunch of brackets too.
Now that I said something, it's not coming out. But so
it's Tyrese Halliburton that said that too. It's a quote. It's a tweet from Tyrese Halliburton that says, "Make one bracket and stand on it."
And we were digging at HG because HG, share with everybody, how many brackets did you make?
Well, you can make up to 5 in our tournament challenge, the till the final whistle one.
Right, so
I mean, a bunch of them are just like there's only really one like serious bracket in there. The others are either like picked off of mascots. I have a bunch of upsets or Cinderella runs. Like I'm like, there's one that has like Furman in the Final Four or like Troy in the Elite Eight. Like they're not like super serious. They're not serious. They're kind of just joke brackets. My one actual bracket has Michigan winning the national championship.
I just thought it was funny because Jimmy Covers is just picking at you in the chat. So
yeah. I felt my phone ding, and then you walked in here. It's like, what's about to happen right now?
Hey, making brackets is fun, and I like to.
Yeah, I made a lot too.
Yeah,
I got a lot of brackets,
and sometimes it's fun to just like pick based off of things that are like nowhere related to basketball, just to see how that bracket would turn out. Like, I mean, me and Cayman, after we did the community selection show yesterday, if you stuck around till 2, we made the bracket based off of how each team's college football team would play against each other head to head. I'm sure that one's going to go great because our Final Four is what? Ohio State, Iowa, Georgia, and Miami.
Yep, that's the Final Four.
And then national championship of Miami and Ohio State.
Yeah, that one's
Miami, the national champion. So
we know a good way to make one. Pick based off which city you would rather visit.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Or you can do the logo, like which logo looks better. Like I've done that before. Or like just like your favorite color. Like, you know what? I like orange, red, and blue. They're moving on.
Yeah, whichever team's got the best colorway or best uniforms. Just don't. I can't ever pick UCLA though. Well, at least not this year. At least not until they fired Mick Cronin.
Hey man, it's got a big anti-Mick Cronin agenda.
Yes.
Which is funny because I see some people believe like they're the 7 seed that could make an Elite 8 run, and I'm like, some of the brackets I'm making like that, it just is like calling to me. I'm like, don't do it. Like, you shouldn't bet against UConn, but like I'm like, it's like a goblin mask calling to me.
The only way that they make it to the Elite 8 is if he stands on the sideline with a giant piece of duct tape over his mouth. Because his post-game interviews, he's just
he's a dick.
He's so mean to the reporters that it's like, dude, you're the coach of the team. Like, you're got a pretty good team, like you were telling us yesterday. They got a pretty good roster. They've just been injured. It's like at this point, man, it's got to go on somebody.
Yeah, like I mean they had an incredible comeback against Illinois. They beat Michigan State in the Big Ten championship. Like UCLA has been a really solid team this year. They just, it honestly might just be the coaching. Like there's plenty of talent there, but he doesn't want to take responsibility.
Well, he causes like an unneeded drama with the media, and then it just like surrounds the whole team for like a week. And it's like, it's not even like he's like bad mouthing the team or anything. It's just like, there was one game he ejected his own player when they were getting destroyed. They're getting beat really bad on the road, and guy went for a chase down block, and it was a hard foul, and he ejected his own player and sent him to the locker room. And then there was just like a bunch of stuff about Mick Cronin, UCLA, the hate agenda for like the next week. It's like, dude, just take a chill pill.
That would be too easy, caveman.
I know.
Can't do that. All right. Well, to wrap up the NBA before we go hit a quick break here, let's take a look at what the playoff picture is looking like. So Detroit still got the first place in the East, but Boston and New York not too far behind them, so not a huge margin of error for the Pistons here. They're one game out from 50 wins on the season. I think they can still probably control that. The Raptors, man, they're sort of faltering a little bit. They've still been all right, but they just haven't looked as good. Some losses are starting to stack up a little bit more now. Still in 5th place, though, in the East, but Cleveland has come back and overtaken them. I'm liking the Harden trade so far. I mean, he's really unlocking a lot more with that offense. Mobley and Jarrett Allen are playing a lot better with him in there because
I forgot. I disrespected him. Forgot how good he was off the screen because that is a pretty big reason.
Like now you finally have like a guard like Harden that can actually like
he draws 4 defenders off one pick and roll. Jarrett Allen lob. He's averaging 25 now.
Yeah.
Like what?
So that'll be hopefully they can keep that going in the playoffs. But I mean it's James Harden who has historically failed to show up in the big moments. So I don't know. But like Donovan Mitchell has been really like the guy that's been just like carrying the entire load. And he's still the guy there in Cleveland. And like past few postseasons, it's been Donovan Mitchell like versus the world in the Cavs postseason run. So if Harden can just alleviate some of the pressure from Mitchell and that screening action, get Mobley and Jarrett Allen involved scoring, I think that makes Donovan Mitchell's life a whole lot easier. And they might actually be able to do something. So
he can go on a nice run.
It's not on you a whole lot, Harden, but you still gotta. You just can't. There's less for you to mess up, but yeah, you do still have some responsibilities.
How are we feeling about Scotty Barnes being the defensive player of the year?
I don't hate it.
I'm gonna have to look. I want to look deeper into his like more in-depth defensive stats, but I'm kind of feeling like he's my top candidate right now for the DPOY.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about it, nobody else really kind of jumps to mind, but like Scotty's been great on defense all year. Yeah, he's like for a fourth, he's just like got great rim protection ability. He's really smart, knows how to intercept passing lanes, and yeah, like you watch him defend, like he's got great feet. Like he just always stays in front of the defender or the offensive player, and is able to defend without fouling really well. I don't see why it wouldn't be Scotty.
The coach's dream, man.
Who else would you have
guy
ahead of him at this point?
I mean, really nobody. That's like probably gonna be my pick, consensus pick.
Yeah. Wonder who all the finalists are, or who they've got. NBA. Let's see. I guess they got
Wemby. Okay, that makes
Wemby
sense.
there.
Chet
kind of makes sense too.
Chet, Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert,
and Scotty doesn't even have that great of odds, which is kind of crazy.
Chet and Wemby, that makes sense. Well, right now they got.
I guess I did
Victor
kind of
Wembanyama.
discredit those guys because I'm like, they're like super tall. It's really easy for them to block a lot of shots, but they do. They also do a lot of other things besides blocking shots.
They do things on defense that generate offense and start runs. But same with Scotty Barnes. Like having a guy go up and meet somebody in the air and stuff their block. Like that's momentum changing stuff right there. That'll take the life out of another team right there.
He had an insane chase down on like a dunk the other night. I forget
who
they were playing.
The guy tried to cock it back with two hands and he pinned it off the glass out of bounds. Like he flew in. It was like blocked by James.
Yeah, he's got insane effort. He doesn't give up on the play, which is big, which is why he's getting some of the extra stops. You know what? I was gonna say Wemby, but I thought he wasn't gonna make the minimum game threshold, but I guess he might.
He's like 2 games off, I think.
And then like same with Chet. I feel like Chet's missed a lot of time. So Scotty, I think, just played the most, but it'll probably go to Chet or Wemby, though, for being honest.
What is it again? It's 65?
65, yeah.
I want to see if it'll show me. No.
We were talking about Embiid earlier in the show. He's basically the reason that 65 game threshold now exists, because he won an MVP while missing so many games and also ducking his biggest rival in his home city for now 7 straight years. It's so funny that there's still like Embiid fanboys that try to like compare him to Jokic, and it's just like everyone else is like, there's just such a gap. It's
yeah, you can't even
anymore.
You can't even be all NBA if you're. The article popped up before it showed me. I was watching the broadcast last night. It was showing how many games each guy had left. And it's like Jokic and Shea are around like 15, 20 games left out of the threshold. Wemby, I think it's like literally like 2 games.
Right. I mean, he had the blood clot scare. I don't think that's really flared up, but they've definitely like the deep vein thrombosis thing that he's had some like back issues. And I mean, the Spurs are able to win without them, so I kind of understand their hesitancy to make him play and risk further injury or worsening his injury when you really want him to be as healthy as you can for the playoffs. Well, I think Scotty's my favorite player that's nominated for the DPOY, but they'll probably go to Wemby or Chet, unfortunately, because they just favor the centers so heavily.
Yeah,
if there isn't like a guard or somebody that's playing like insane defense that year, it just usually goes to like a big.
I mean,
that's just how it goes.
Top guards right now, defensive wise, I'd say like put Stephon Castle up there as the guard. Yeah, he could probably be in the top 10 for DPOY this year.
Derek White obviously is always doing really good. Dylan Brooks, I mean, he's more of a forward, but he's kind of like a combo between the guard and the forward. He's been pretty good this year.
I wish he didn't need to.
Christian Brown one day will play good enough to win that award trust. That's what I'm telling myself.
We forgot to mention this. Hawks are on a 10-game winning streak. Watch out now. Watch out, Magic. They're only 1 game behind the Magic and the Heat. And watch out, Raptors. They could jump up to the 5 seed in just a couple more games. Holy crap.
Wow. I got still Trae Young listed on the Hawks on their roster. Like, he's not there anymore, guys. I don't know how to tell you this. He's not there. Yeah, dude, Jalen Johnson cooking this season. He's not too far off from averaging a triple-double, man. He's averaging 23, 10, and 8.
Dang.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker, been a great ad for this team. He's averaging 20 for them. And then CJ McCollum, since coming over in that trade, really given that team some more shooting along the perimeter, which is something they were kind of lacking. Richeche, he isn't really that much of an offensive factor, but him and Dyson Daniels play really good defense. And, Kuminga is starting to really gel well into that team. That's true. Yeah, let's look at their last 10. So, after losing 4 out of 5, where their only win was against the Sixers. They go and they beat the Nets by 11. They beat the Wizards 119-98, and then 126-96. Beat the Blazers 135-101. The Bucks 131-113. The Sixers 125-126. The Mavericks 124-112. The Nets 108-97. The Bucks 122-99 and 124-112 over the Magic. So not like a gauntlet of the schedule per se, but still 10 wins. And I mean, a lot of those are pretty commanding and dominating.
Yeah. That is pretty solid. The East got pretty interesting right there last second.
The East ain't all that bad this year.
It's at least exciting. It'll be exciting in the playoffs.
They got some really interesting teams. Let's go look at the West here, though. So you look at like 3 through 6, even like 7, really. It's super muddy. Like San Antonio, OKC continue to just pull away. They're the first 2 teams to 50 wins. The Thunder 54 and 15. The Spurs are 51 and 18. You've got the Lakers are 43 and 25 right now. The Rockets at 41 and 26, and then both the Nuggets and the Timberwolves are 42 and 27. So right now, I mean, those 3 could all flip-flop to different places. And the Suns are just a few games back from like the Wolves and the Nuggets at 39 and 30, but they're missing Dylan Brooks, which is definitely hurting them. So I'm not super confident in their ability. And then honestly, kind of after that, there's a big drop. I mean, the Clippers, Kawhi's been playing great this year, but they're really, I mean, they lost Zubac and Harden. I just really don't think that that was a move that means like, hey, we're serious about trying to compete this year. So
yeah, they're gonna have to figure out something crazy with Darius Garland and Kawhi, because it's about all they got left.
Yeah, the Warriors are just injured, and the Blazers are just like incredibly mid. You've got honestly worse free throw merchant than Shea and Denny. They're down there in Portland.
Dude, that does not get talked about. He's worse. That is worse than freaking Bam's 83-point game.
They're so terrible, but like, dude, he has like a disgusting free throw rate. Like one game where like he dropped like 36 and like 23 points came at that.
Yeah,
it's like
that was worse than freaking Bam's free throws, bro.
Yeah, it feels like he's just kind of being like forced down. Like he was an all-star and like he's been playing all right this year. Definitely like a lot improved, but yeah, I don't know. There's a weird Denny agenda going on with the league. It's
not like he's bad.
No, I mean he's a good player and everything, but I don't it's just weird. He's getting like this, like he's for a guy on a really mid team who hasn't really been like a star in the league. He's just kind of getting like that star whistle now. Like it's just it looks a lot like Luka and Shea and Brunson's whistle, guys like that. Again, even Bam's.
Oh yeah.
I'm just excited for the NBA playoffs to start.
I need it.
Yeah. The West, the like 3, 6, and 4, 5 matchups are going to be cinema the first round. And then I'm interested in seeing what the East is going to do. It's going to be real. It's going to be real interesting. I mean, they're record-wise, at least, there's actually a lot more teams with better records in the East this year. Like, there's a pretty big drop-off once you get out of the top 8 in the West, just in terms of how good they are. And then especially like out of the play-in, like it just plummets. The Grizzlies, the Pelicans, The Mavericks all 23-46. The Jazz are 20-48. The Kings, who are they gonna draft if they get the number 1 overall pick? Who's it going to? Because they're 18-52, and you got 15-54 Indiana, 16-52 Washington, and 17-51 New York. Wow.
And then my guess is like
a lot of hot garbage there.
My guess is like Milwaukee or Memphis will win the lottery.
Or Dallas. The only team that has like that'll probably finish with around mid 30 wins that I'd be kind of okay with getting it is Chicago. I think it'd be cool if like Chicago ends up getting the number 1 pick and they can bring in like a guy like Diabonsa or Peterson. I feel like it's between those two for the number 1. I'm not like, I think it'll just come down to whoever's a better scheme fit for who has that pick. And then but it'd be cool if the Bulls were competitive again and not just like a mid-playing team.
Yeah,
I would.
Because I like Matas. It'd be interesting to see if they got AJ Dibonsa, how they got Matas. It seems like that's kind of who they want to be their scorer.
Yeah. Although the Bulls also need centers.
Yeah, they need a big man.
But I think they did a lot of cap clearing, so I don't know who the free agent centers are going to be, but that's something I would think it'd be better to address in free agency, because I don't think there's really any. There's some good centers that are going to be in this draft. I don't know if any are going to be worth blowing the number 1 pick or a top 5 pick on though.
Yeah, there's no.
It's going to be a lot. I think it's a lot of forwards and guards that are going to be.
There's no DeAndre Ayton's really.
Well, DeAndre Ayton's.
Well, he was good in college.
That backfired, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
He was good in college. There's no guys like him right now, really. At least of his play style.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to. Is Zuby a senior? Ejiofor at St. John's? He might be a junior, but.
Junior or a senior? He does kind of fit that.
From the college class, he might be the best one there. I'm not really sure what the international prospects are looking like or outside of college at this time. I'll look at that closer to pre-draft, but yeah, it doesn't feel, if you need a big, it doesn't feel like that's like desperately. I don't think the draft is going to be the way you feel that. There'll definitely be some solid guys for depth. Like I think like Kiba Keita would be a solid player to draft late. There's like that guy on Duke, Bungo. He'd be good. But like Mara, he's just giant. Like he could be worth a second. Something like that. Okay, well, going on the NBA for a while. It's the top of the hour. Should we go ahead and take a quick break?
No, let's hit a quick music break here for us.
All right,
everybody.
Guys, stay with us. We're going to do a quick break. Go get a snack or beverage, something. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about the big trade that shook up the NFL yesterday. Jalen Watson, my Denver Broncos. Stay tuned. We're going to have a breakdown on that here on Double Time.
He sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He thinks his life is over, he can't understand. A bottle of whiskey and some pills in the drawer. He doesn't want to hurt himself or hurt anymore. Why must it be this way? Just think it all over and listen to the words I say. You are not alone. There are so many people floor. She finds a crumpled letter just behind the door. Begins to read it with tears in her eyes. A horrible feeling takes over inside. Says, honey, can I talk to you? There has to be something that we can do. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. So take my hand, baby, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. You're not alone. 'Cause you are not alone. There are millions of people who fight with their demons each day. Yeah. And you are not alone. So take my hand, son, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He puts it away, 'cause now he understands.
Penalty on YOU. Delay of game. 5 seconds before the show. But hey, thanks for watching.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
This on the web at nbradio.net.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. HG and Caveman are back, and it's about that time. We got to break the news. The Denver Broncos finally made a move in the offseason. I knew y'all had $20 million. I knew you weren't going to just sit on it.
And yeah, draft capital. I like it, man. This was one of the few wide receivers I'd have been happy with us trading for. I know, like, AJ Brown was in the rumors. This was more of a pipe dream, but Justin Jefferson was out there too. But I'm happy with Waddle. Yeah, I like there were some people that were like, "Wow, overspent for a washed, injury-prone wide receiver." Jalen Waddle has played 6 seasons and only missed 5 games, or might have had that flipped. But regardless, it's 5 or 6 seasons and only 5 or 6 games missed, and he's averaged close to 1,000 yards every season.
We also had over 160 targets last year,
right?
And only 4 drops. It's exactly what you guys need. It's exactly what they needed.
Right. And like the past 2 years, like he's had like a brain damaged quarterback throwing him the football. So
sorry, Drake London. Haha.
Yeah. If that's who ends up being your quarterback, which I mean, it would be hilarious if Penix loses the starting job to Tua. I would die. But back to the Broncos. We did give up first, a third, and then we did a 4th round pick swap to get Jalen. I'm okay with that because we do have a lot of 7s. We can probably use those to move back up if we are looking to come back up in the draft. Now I think taking care of wide receiver, that's big. I like if our 4 guys are Waddle, Sutton, Mims, Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin as the 5th. That would be pretty big. Also, I love the you brought up the Waddle drop stat because like somebody that's going to catch the football. Man, we are missing that. We led the league in drops. Bo Nix had the most lost yardage due to dropped passes out of any quarterback. It was like an extra like 500 yards or something on the season. Like that would have made him a 4,000 yard passer almost if those passes were caught. So
it's not just a deep ball either from Waddle. He's going to be the guy that really opens up the intermediate pass game, and we're going to see more easy stuff for Bo Nix, like in his rookie year, flashing it back to Thursday night football against the Saints when you guys played our practice squad, and you guys were just running levels concept with like 3 crossers, and there was just nobody on our team that could guard anyone. So it was just bread and butter for Bo Nix. Like it's going to make more simple plays in the offense. There's going to be a better click next year, I feel like, on that side of the football.
Right. So the intermediate route running is huge that Waddle's going to bring. That was something we were really missing. Like a lot of our stuff was, it was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, or if we went downfield, a lot of it just had to go out beyond the numbers. We just didn't really have any guys that had like the speed and the agility to work the middle of the field successfully at a high rate. So very big that we do have that now. Well, take a look at some remaining free agent running backs because I think we still need some depth at that position. I like JK, but he's just so injury prone that we could probably still use.
The top 3 available running backs right now are also injury prone.
Yeah, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb too. Yeah, we'll pass on that. I'm looking down to maybe a guy like AJ Dillon could be cheap.
Okay, that is actually
Ryan Robinson. Jeremy McNichols was pretty solid last year in Washington rather. Let's see who else we got on here. All right, there isn't really too much. Maybe Michael Carter. You've got Antonio Gibson could be kind of intriguing. Maybe Raheem Mostert, but they're kind of past their prime. Same with like Madison. But Robinson, McNichols, Dillon, I all really like as some prospects there. Team does also still need a linebacker who can cover. I don't really we let Dre Greenlaw walk. And I just Stranad's a decent cover linebacker. Singleton can't cover for shit. And Stranad's just kind of slow when it comes to coverage. Like that's going to be a big hole if we don't find some guy that can cover. It says Devin Bush is still available from Cleveland. That's probably my favorite target. Or no, is it? They're just not updating this. Okay, no, he is on the Bears. Sport Track, you got to take him off of your free agent list. Yeah. Roseboom, I feel like is going to kind of fall into the same problem of like Stranad and Singleton. He's a good linebacker, but he's not that great in coverage. Maybe Logan Wilson or Kenneth Murray if they're still available. Linebacker might be something we have to take care of in the draft. Jermaine Pratt could be a bit of a sleeper there. Yeah, we do still need to. I wouldn't hate Devin White also if he's still a free agent. So somebody we can kind of get on the cheap, or a tight end, which I know Njoku's still a free agent.
He is.
Jonnu Smith, I wouldn't hate. Ertz is just, like a little ancient. Taysom Hill would be funny. but I don't think
reunite him with the Sean Payton.
Yeah, I don't think he would add a ton of value.
He wouldn't even. He hardly even plays tight end.
Yeah, no. We need like a true tight end. So that's something we do still kind of need. Will Dissly could be a sleeper pick there. He might be sneaky. Those are big spots that we could use, Phil, that I think absolutely are going to have to use our first 2 picks on and address one more in free agency. But I'm feeling a lot better about bringing in Waddle. That'll just really, first of all, it'll bring some competition to the wide receiver room. Hopefully we'll get some more out of those players. I think it'll benefit Sutton because he's not going to get double covered so much. And see, they're going to have to send more coverage towards Waddle's way. That'll open up Sutton. So it should open up the passing game a lot.
I got something funny here. There's 3 teams right now. After you guys made this deal, I saw this video and I was like, man, that I never really thought about it like that. So he's pretty much explaining how there's 3 teams that are in the exact same situation. It feels like where they're like their off season is like the exact same so far. You got Denver, Minnesota, and you got Seattle. It's like 3 quarterbacks who all 3 of them get a lot of hate, but all 3 of them are still pretty good players, and like still they put out some pretty good numbers on the field and on the stats sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
With one really insane intermediate to deep level route running receiver. So Kyler Murray's got Jay Jettas, Sam Darnold has got JSN, and now Bo Nix just got his new number 1 target, Jalen Waddle. All 3 of these teams have a pretty shaky run game. K Walker just went to the Chiefs, and they signed Emmanuel Wilson. Aaron Jones might come back next year.
It actually looks like he signed a revised contract.
So Aaron Jones, and then the Broncos running game, it's like
injury
also
prone.
shaky. You're like, who's the number 1 guy?
It's J.K. Dobbins, but he's so injury prone. And then like RJ Harvey, like a volume runner. He's more of a pass catcher, really.
Yeah. And then all 3 teams have a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it. They're all 3 of them are in the same spot right now.
How are we feeling about Kyler Murray to the Vikings?
Yes, sir, Kyle. The Zebras back at it.
Here we are. I don't know. How are we feeling about Kyler to the Vikings?
It might not go well, but it's also kind of a little bit of a way for get a veteran around JJ. Let him mature a little bit. Because I don't think he's going to win the QB battle in the offseason.
No.
And it seems like if he doesn't really mature by the time we see what happens with Kyler Murray, then they got a real problem.
Yeah. I think it's a good move for Minnesota because you just need an elevated quarterback, but the rest of the roster is way too talented. You've got a pretty good offensive line. Like I said, the running game is a little bit shaky, but you've got just tons of weapons in the passing game. Forget it, like Justin Jefferson's there, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. Does kind of suck that they lost Jalen Naylor, but I mean, still weapons. They brought in James Pierre to an already really good defense, a defense that was locking teams down at the end of the year. And I mean, despite all the quarterback problems, they won 9 games. So it's like really that could have been a playoff team with a different quarterback. With like maybe if they had like Sam Darnold, like could you imagine if the Vikings had Sam Darnold on their roster? They might have actually been.
It's like a Super Bowl winning team right there.
Yeah. I feel like a team with a defense like the Vikings and the weapons in the passing game, like could have won the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold as a quarterback. Guess we'll never know though.
It's so funny though. It's like it feels like all three of those teams are just like identical.
They are very similar. That's
They're like
crazy.
identical right now.
Well, I think I like Minnesota should be better. You look at the rest of their division. Packers signing 49ers legend Sky Moore. I love they brought back Sean Ryan. They bringing in Javon Hargraves to help shore up the middle of their defense because the run defense was a little shaky. Bringing in Zaire Franklin, kind of replacing what's his face, Quay Walker, and then their best signing that was getting Benjamin St. Juice. He was fantastic with the Chargers, and they got him on for $5 million a year for 2 years.
They needed a corner bad too.
They got a really good corner for a pretty good deal.
It adds to a room that's it's been building.
Yeah.
It's like been getting better with the guys that they have the last 2 years. Now feels like you kind of got a guy you're going to put at your number one.
The Lions have made some solid moves. They're kind of revamping the offensive line. Juice Scruggs, Larry Borum, Cade Mays, all brought in on the offensive line. They brought in DJ Wanham, 1-year deal. Gives them some pass rush depth. Al-Qadim Muhammad and TJ Hawkinson still there. Wanham just gives you kind of more rotation there. They signed Roger McCreary. Give their secondary some more depth. They just needed more depth there. So I feel like the Lions replaced Montgomery with Isaiah Pacheco. So he's, like a worse version of Montgomery, but you still have Jahmyr Gibbs. So you just kind of need somebody to give Gibbs a break. And then the Bears have had a really great offseason. So, the North is going to be another battle. Bears, the Braxton Jones, Jordan McFadden brought back the trade for Garrett Bradbury. Loved that. The Devin Bush and DeMarco Jackson signings.
They lost a lot on defense, but they got a lot of guys back.
Yeah. They got Jalen Jones a new contract. Brought in Cam Lewis. Kobe Bryant, I love that, bringing him over from the
I think he was on the Rams.
Was he the one on the Seahawks?
He was either on the Seahawks or the Rams.
I think this was the Kobe Bryant on the Seahawks. There's like two. One's Cobie and one's Coby. And they were both in the same division. It was really confusing. And there's also a Kobe Durant.
Yeah, there's way too many people.
Too many Kobe's in like the same football sphere.
They're getting way too close. $10 a bracket.
All right, I'm in. I'll probably only do one. I'm in a couple of other $10 bracket leagues, but you send me the link. I love making brackets. I'm a little addicted. Well, it's been really quiet for the most part since the free agency kind of opened. We're still waiting on what all the fallout is from the Max Crosby situation.
There's one other name on the edge market that could go out there and sign. Cameron Jordan. He said he's dwindled it down to his top 3 teams to where he's going to sign. One more name on the list. I want to see what happens with him. I don't even know if he's going to retire or not. Coming on to like year 17 right now.
That's a good point,
for a long time.
He's been playing for a while.
And Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara. So like three names. You don't even know who's about to retire.
That's true. The Saints have some decisions to make with those vets. Then I thought Demario Davis went to the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay. And
He's
then-
not going to retire though. He's about to be 37 on the Jets.
That's exactly what the Jets needed on their defense, if we're being honest.
He can still get it done.
Besides, like bringing in Geno Smith, I don't really hate what the Jets have done. We can flash back to what they've been up to.
Nothing.
I mean, Dylan Parham, he's a really solid guard. They re-signed their Chukwuma Okafor, who I like. The one thing that wasn't too bad was their offensive line. Membo played pretty well. They were kind of terrible on the interior, but the tackles weren't really bad. They've just got a lot of like defensive line depth. They don't necessarily have like a crazy star pass rusher. Will McDonald's pretty good. Like I like the guys like Joseph Asai, Kingsley Egenbar, David Onyemata. Even Tavondre Sweat, like all like guys. I'm like, I don't like having them as like, keep your defensive line rotated and fresh. Like those are guys that can all be like productive if you're rotating them out. I love like the Nashawn Wright signing was great. They're really going in on safeties.
Minka,
re-signed
Cisco,
Andre Cisco, traded for Minka, signed Dane Belton, and they really want a lot of safeties, I guess.
Maybe they're gonna. Maybe some of these guys are just gonna have to like play a little like hybrid position kind of thing, but they need to have something in their secondary.
All right.
Like they need to try and draft Mansour Delane because
he might be gone, but they could probably get who am I thinking of? Jermod McCoy from Tennessee. He might still be there. I feel like Delane, he's either going to like the Dolphins or the Bengals. Maybe the Commanders will draft him really early, but I don't think Delane makes it back to what their next pick is. What, 17?
Yeah, they're pretty far back.
Yeah.
I feel like they got to do something. They got a coach who played corner and they didn't get an interception.
Yeah. Well, hey, we've got about 30 minutes. We could do another mock draft.
After the free agency madness? Okay. I'm down
now
to do that.
Kind of got we're keyed in. It's really cool off. So I feel like for the most part, we know what teams are going to be missing. We got about half an hour. How many rounds should we do? I'll do at least 2 so we can make a pick for my Broncos. But we can
Let's just put it to 4 then.
4? All right. We'll see. We're going to go ahead and fire up a mock draft. That's what's going to be Team Builder today. We're building 32 teams here until the final whistle.
And I'm putting together a special team.
Rolling on here. I don't know what's going on that. All right. Let me get the screen share up. We're firing it up. We're doing the mock draft. The probably not going to do any trades because the trade thing in here is so busted. You have to like get yourself genuinely ripped off for a trade to get accepted, which is the only unfortunate part about this site. I like it. I love it. Besides that, all right. So obviously the Raiders. This is the only one that isn't in question. The Jets here. They brought in defensive line depth, so I feel like we're looking to the linebacker room probably. Or Arvell Reese, I guess, makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I'm feeling Arvell Reese there. He's going to learn a lot from Demario Davis, probably his last season, returning home.
He's just a really great a linebacker that you can kind of also he can cover, but he can blitz. defend the run. He's just very versatile. All right, so then we've got the Cardinals here.
I feel like they go and add to their defense and get Ruben Bain.
Yeah, they could use a tackle, but Blaise Campbell's getting up there. They might need somebody to help open up Josh Sweat. I like the Ruben Bain pick there as well.
I feel like the tackle class I think is deeper than any other spot in the offensive line too. Or you could probably get one in the second.
I totally apologize. I forgot to put that up on the screen. There you go.
Apologies, everyone. We got you.
You can see what we're doing now. All right, the Tennessee Titans. This is an interesting one. What do they do here? Let me go recap their free agents because I feel like it's got to be a skill position guy.
Yeah, they're not going defense because I feel like they're stacked on that side.
They kind of loaded up on defense. I mean, they've brought in like John Franklin Myers, Malik Heron, Solomon Thomas, Jacob Martin, Jordan Elliott, Jermaine Johnson. That's all defensive line signings.
And they got their leader too. They got freaking Cedric Gray still.
Yeah.
That guy's a beast.
In the secondary, Cordell Flott, Alante Taylor, Joshua Williams, Tony Adams.
They don't need a defense. Yeah, they don't need anything.
So I think in this scenario, do we think they go wide receiver or running back?
The Titans pick Jeremiah Love.
I think so too.
The Titans pick Jeremiah
I think
Love.
they go Jeremiah Love. You brought in Wandale. It's a deep wide receiver class. Your running game was atrocious. That can really help a young quarterback out. And this guy is like a Bijan Robinson, Saquon type of prospect. So then we get to the Giants. It says wide receiver, but I don't really think that's. They did lose Wandale. Maybe they go Tate here. I don't, but they do have Malik.
Got Malik Neighbors. They don't really have a wide receiver too, but you also just got Isaiah Likely.
They did lose a lot in the linebacking core. I was going to say that was their big free agent tight end signing. And I mean, they did bring in Calvin Austin as wide receiver too. That's right. And Darnell Mooney.
Oh, Mooney. They don't really need a receiver.
That's what I'm thinking. The linebacker room still, they re-signed Micah McFadden. They brought in Tremaine Edmonds. I think the D-line's solid. To me, Sonny Styles makes the most sense at this pick, right?
They don't really need. I feel like Sonny Styles because they're not really getting what they want from Bobby Okereke.
Yeah, and
they need a young guy.
I think like a player like him is just you can't really pass up on him at this spot when you really need that defensive help. As much as I feel like maybe a secondary guy would be a bit more beneficial for him. At this spot, I feel like it's more of a reach to draft a guy at corner over Styles. So we're gonna go Sonny Styles here. Bang. Okay, Cleveland. I think they lost a lot of their offensive line. Who were they able to re-sign any of those guys? I'm gonna recheck.
Let's check.
They did bring back Tevin Jenkins. They bring in Zion Johnson, Elton Jenkins as well. Get Titus Howard, who's been kind of mid. I really think they still need tackle help. That's going to be their biggest area of need. I think
bring in Francis.
Mayaga's probably going to be the best tackle.
Probably got to bring in Francis here.
We'll go Francis Mayaga. Okay. Washington.
I could also see them maybe picking Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson at 6.
I don't.
The Browns.
That's true. Oh yeah, Cleveland. I also don't necessarily hate Tate to Washington, but I think about what they're severely lacking is an elite pass rusher. They really, and like the defensive side of the ball is a big thing that's going to hold them back. They're old, they're slow. I think David
just had to get healthy.
Yeah, I think David Bailey, Jaden Daniels is also such a big if he's healthy, he's such a big threat with his legs and everything. I believe that David Bailey to get a premier pass rusher is the best move there. Boom, we're going to go Bailey. So now, I mean, the Saints, no wide receivers off the board, Caveman. You bring in ETN. I mean, Tate makes a lot of sense here. But you're the Saints fan. I am gonna default back to you what you think.
Got Caleb Downs on the board. Jordan Tyson on the board. I don't think we really need a corner. I feel like him and Carnell Tate would complement each other pretty well. Chris Olave and Carnell Tate. So if he's available right here, this is the guy I hope we get.
I think he's the safest receiver to take. Tyson's got the injury thing. Like Lemon's good. He was just really weird at the combine. So I feel like if you're just like Tate interviewed well, he's in good health. He's a very dynamic receiver. If he's on the board, that's the first receiver taken.
And he seemed like he liked us and wanted to play for us. He was asked about us. So
then the Chiefs, I feel like they're going to just go and take the best guy available, which is going to be Caleb Downs. At this point, it's maybe a bit of a reach to go for another edge, which is something that they do need. I mean, they lost 2 corners. Do you think because who's their safety? Who did that's Oh
yeah, they did lose 2 corners.
Let's see. They signed Aloni Gilman. They brought in Kader Coho. That's a corner there. They're good on running backs. I mean, they didn't really make any moves for a wide receiver.
Tyquan Thornton re-sign.
I mean, call me crazy. Man, I feel like maybe they don't go with Downs here. Jordan Tyson probably makes the most sense because they need a wide receiver, or maybe Mansour Delane because they lost corners. What do you think? I know Downs is really good and available right there, but I don't think he fills a need as much as those other 2 guys.
Well, the next pick there is initially who I would have selecting Mansour Delane in my mock draft, the Bengals. But who's the Bengals safety? Geno Stone.
And I don't even, he might be gone.
That would work out perfectly for the Cincinnati Bengals if they were able to have Caleb Downs slip down to the 10.
They did sign Brian Cook. So that means the Chiefs did lose Brian Cook, though. You know what?
Then I think the Chiefs probably get Caleb Downs right here.
I think it's a deep wide receiver class too, and like Kansas City's not going to pass up on a guy that could be generationally talented. Well, now that we're on the Bengals, I also agree with you. I think you got to take Delane. Your defense is just
they need help.
Absolutely atrocious. This makes the most sense to me.
He's the best defensive player. Get him on my team right now if I'm their GM.
Bam. All right, so now we have the Dolphins. They need a lot of help. Now they need a wide receiver because their like top 2 guys are Tutu Atwell and Theo Weiss Jr.
Oh God.
They're really hurting that wide receiver, but they also desperately need a guard. But then they could also use some corner help as well. They lost Kader Coho. I can go and see who they brought in free agent wise, just to refresh our memory, but it's not great.
Okay, Charlie Heck, Jamari Salver, Jalen Tolbert,
Marco Wilson, Lonnie Johnson. I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. Look, you don't know what your quarterback. They did actually spend a lot of money on Malik Willis. I think they go Jordan Tyson here. You got to give. I mean, you spent $67 million on a quarterback. You got to give him somebody to.
And it's already a dice roll because Malik Willis has never been a starter This is his first opportunity.
He was dealing with a really talented Green Bay team that had a great offensive coach. I think
they're
they got to go
rolling the
Tyson
dice
here.
on Willis. They got to get some help for him.
They got to give him some help. Yeah. All right. So then that puts the Dallas Cowboys here up next. They probably got to go defense here. I mean, spent a lot of money on Bland. They don't really have a safety. Do we think Dylan Thieneman or Emmanuel McNeil Warren's better? Because like this is weird. I feel like these guys are a lot closer. Who do you think? Or like linebacker wise,
CJ Allen.
That might be a little early for him.
That's a little early.
Edge players. Tackle. There's a lot. I mean, McCoy might be the best player on the board. I feel like it's probably between the second guy, maybe between Thieneman or.
Honestly, I think outside of Bland, their corners are pretty bad, but they do need a safety. I feel like Jermod McCoy probably go to them.
The Cowboys. All right, we'll rip that there. They did also bring in PJ Locke. Let's not forget that. So.
Oh, okay.
They might be a little.
I didn't know they signed him.
Okay, here we go. We got the Rams. All right, this is interesting. They could use a tackle, but also I don't hate them getting more weapons for Matthew Stafford. This may be where we shake it up. Kenyon Sadiq. Think about that. Because Stafford's getting up there. I mean, he doesn't have that many years left. Your window could be closing. You bring in another weapon for him. I feel like the offensive line is still okay. It's a deep tackle class too. Like I think you could still get a really serviceable tackle round 2.
And a running back later on too.
Yeah. I don't even know if they necessarily need that. I think Corum and
this is where the fun pick is. I think they get Kenyon Sadiq.
That's kind of the sleeper, the shocking pick that I have here. So then you've got the Ravens. I think in my mind, they got to get Lamar a number 1 weapon. So Mekhi Lemon here.
They need a receiver.
Yeah. Fire there. Tampa, interesting. They need some D-line help. Maybe a guard. Could go for a linebacker here. I would probably think Todd Bowles is there. Pass rush would be your most important thing. Keldrick Fox, your best available.
Yeah.
The edge player.
Their interior of their offensive line was pretty bad, though.
They could. So I'm between him or Ione.
I think they got to try it. I think they work to try and help out this offense a little bit because they did just lose Mike Evans.
That's true.
They got to help out Bucky Irving and White and
we'll go
Baker.
Lavavija Ione. All right, this is the Jets' next pick. They got Arvell. Potentially, I mean, they could potentially go for a whatchamacallit, an offensive player, like a wide receiver here. However, oh my gosh. Garrett Wilson's still there. They're saying they didn't do a ton to address their they brought in a lot of safeties, but they didn't do a lot to address their corner situation. They did a lot to address their offensive line.
Mm-hmm. What's the next up receiver?
So Avion Terrell at corner.
This could be where they get their game. They could be where they get their guy.
Or Casey Concepcion. I think Concepcion's this. I don't know what the way they're ranking their prospects is a little weird to me here. I would probably go with Concepcion here. Makes a lot of sense.
He would be a good slot weapon, but we were just talking about how they did get a lot of depth on their defensive line, but not a premier rusher, which makes me think Keldrick Falk could go to them right here at 16.
That actually does make a lot of sense.
He could just potentially be their number 1 guy. Because with them, they still got Adonai Mitchell, and they still have Garrett Wilson coming back off an injury. Adonai Mitchell is really underrated when he got there. He just had freaking
I think
nobody to throw him the ball.
we're probably not gonna be able to get to all 4 rounds, but we'll fire. Let's try to make sure we finish at least the first round. We'll fire in Keldrick Falk there then. All right.
Lions.
The Lions.
Got
Another
a bunch of
team.
linemen.
Could use some linemen. They did sign a bunch. They actually, and then I saw they actually did lose Al-Qudi Muhammad. He went to the Buccaneers.
Kind of feeling Thieneman.
Secondary help. Let's see. Yeah, because Christian Eisen, it's a 1-year prove-it deal. I don't know if that's necessarily your solution. You do have, God, what's his name? Aiden Hutchinson as a pass rusher, so maybe you don't feel so inclined to go there. I think Thieneman's a good pick here.
I
think it'd probably be
safety room
between him or maybe like Loma, just because they love their offensive linemen. But yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I'm feeling Thieneman right there.
All right, so
Vikings.
The Vikings are over here.
They could have used Thieneman too. Harrison Smith getting up there. You need a guy you can throw in that spot.
I mean,
be there.
I don't think Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I could see him going in the first. It's weird that he's ranked.
That's true. Their rankings on this site are a little wonky.
They take him. I mean, they didn't do a ton they brought in one new corner, but I think they could still use some depth there. Maybe they just go, this is where they just fire and get Terrell.
Yeah.
I think Avion Terrell.
I like that.
The Panthers, they've had a really good offseason.
Yeah,
I think they've addressed a lot of defensive needs. Brought in
John Mechie and signed in.
They got
I
Jalen
think
Phillips
they
on the
pick
edge.
KC Concepcion. They need a slot guy.
Do you think they go more O-line, though, or wide receiver? I could see there's some good offensive line prospects.
That is true.
That's weird. So what happened with Lamo and Fanu where they got flip-flopped? I thought Fanu was...
It must have been something at the combine.
Yeah.
Lamu must have had a pretty crazy combine performance.
I do also like them going for a wide receiver opposite of... I don't know. Their tackles are solid. A wide receiver does probably make more sense. Go Concepcion, get your slot guy here.
Yeah, because they need a wide receiver too. Freaking Xavier Legette's not it. He's not that guy for them.
Well, here, let's see. The Cowboys, we had them take. That was who did they draft again? We had them take McCoy.
McCoy.
Got a secondary guy. I think they could use a little help on the O-line, and there are plenty of good tackles available.
I just feel like their tackles are fine. It's more like their running game is pretty mid sometimes because they got blown up in the interior. It's like Dak Prescott was protected.
That's true. He was.
Yeah, he had a really good year last year.
Maybe this is where they go take McNeil Warren. They did bring in Jalen Thompson, PJ Locke. I don't know. They don't necessarily need, and they got Kobe Durant. You know what? Actually, at this point, they could use some pass rush help, though. I don't think they really brought in a pass rusher. And,
oh, yeah, because they got Rayshon Gary, huh?
Akeem Mesidor sitting there. Bring an edge guy, or they could go for some, but they've got Quinn and Williams. So I don't feel like Peter Woods or Quinn and.
I'm feeling Mesidor actually.
Yeah,
that would be good for him off the edge.
An edge player makes more sense. So we'll go Keem Mesidor there. Steelers, do they go wide receiver? Do they stay boring and take like an offensive lineman? Do they go? I mean, they brought in Michael Pittman. I don't know if like wide receivers necessarily where they're going to target first.
No, I feel like they could use, and I feel like they could just use the best offensive lineman available.
Do we go Lomo, or do we feel like Fanu's actually better? I
mean,
Fanu, but we can.
I think it's Fanu, but it's also just kind of based off like what your team fits are. Because Fanu is like more of a run fit. He can move. He has that quick 10 second split.
Run the football.
I'm feeling Fanu because I feel like he would fit their identity. They just picked up Rico Dowdle. It's power run game, baby. Pair those guys up.
Yeah, and then we've got the
Chargers.
They might also just go and take an offensive
lineman, probably get
Lamu, somebody who might be. I mean, I know they need more interior offensive line, but they can probably convert him.
Or just that's when you convert your vets.
Yeah.
And the guy that's going to play that more important position, he's going to be right there.
Although, we do want to keep in mind Cole Strange, Tyler Biadasz, all that they brought in. They did lose. Did they get? I think they lost somebody in the middle. No, they brought in Tiratart. Never mind. I was going to say maybe they go defensive line, but does say they could potentially use a D tackle. Wouldn't hurt. I don't know. We think Lomo or Peter Woods.
Honestly, they didn't really have like a run stuffer last year. I feel like Peter Woods up the middle for that. It'll be something new for their defensive line. I feel like that would improve their defense a lot.
It'd be interesting because I don't think they really need tackles too much too. So
no.
Okay. Well, the Eagles could probably use some tackle help. So this,
Lamu,
I feel like Lamu's the best available compared to what else they might need. If he's still on the board, they would go ahead and get him and just try to shore up that line. Let me get the Browns. Browns definitely going to need to get a wide receiver. Right now, they got Omar Cooper listed as the top one.
Honestly, I feel like somebody that's going to fit him. Well, he probably just didn't have that great of a combine. Chris Brazel's up way higher earlier.
I do keep seeing him projected though down to the second. I mean, we could say, now this is a bad ranking and take Brazel, or we go Cooper. But I think the Browns have to go wide receiver here. They need a
Either one will help.
Yeah. We'll go off the rankings, Cooper. I suppose. Okay. Browns, not the Browns, the Bears here. D tackle, definitely a big need for them. Caden McDonald's sitting on the board staring at me. Makes a lot of sense. Caden?
Yeah.
Okay. Buffalo did get DJ Moore. So now we're looking at potentially needing like an edge player. Could some help on defense. This is where CJ Allen, they could use some linebackers. Matt Milano, I think, he's been dealing with injuries. They lost Tremaine Edmonds. That makes some sense. Or maybe Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I think it's between one of those two if I had to pick somebody.
I feel like McNeil Warren is more of a need for them. Who do they have at safety? Because don't they still have
I'm pretty sure they lost somebody too. I don't know.
Because they still have Bernard at middle linebacker, I think, too, right?
Yeah. They brought in Sam Franklin. They re-signed
Bradley Chubb.
him.
Whoa.
They brought in Geno Stone and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They did kind of bring in a lot of safeties, though. That is true. So I don't know. That might be a crowded room.
And then don't really need an edge guy because you got Nick Chubb on a 3-year deal.
I don't know. To me, CJ Allen does kind of make a lot of sense.
Get a young backer because Bernard and Milano both been having some injuries.
Or if they kind of need the guard, maybe they go Basantius, but I think Allen probably makes a little more sense for them.
Yeah. I think Basantis will probably be there in their second round pick if they want him to.
All right. Bam, CJ Allen. All right. The Niners, Trent Williams is getting up there. You still got Monroe Feeling, Caden Proctor on the board. Probably where you go there. Because did they really make any moves offensive line wise?
I don't think
Who the hell's
so.
Brett Toth? Verdane Lowe? Yeah, I think they got to go tackle here.
Let's go ahead and give the Niners Monroe Freeling. Yeah, who the hell is that?
That's a pretty simple decision. Okay, the Texans definitely need some interior line help. I feel like while he's projected a bit down, Basantius makes sense. Or they might go for like Kristen Miller if they need somebody to replace their who they lost, Tonga, in their interior D line. But I think protecting Stroud's probably more important than trying to keep him comfortable. Right?
That's number one priority.
So we'll go Chase here. The Chiefs with their second pick. They got what's his face? Caleb Downs. So could still use an edge player potentially, but they do feel like a tackle still a good need for them.
Yeah, Blake Miller there.
Keep Mahomes healthy. Proctor, I think, is probably the better prospect here, right?
Oh, I didn't see him above him. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, Proctor.
Caden Proctor.
Yeah.
Bam. The Dolphins, then their second pick. Let's see, they took Tyson. They definitely going to need corner. They really still need. Cisse is still here on the board. I mean, do you like him or Hood more? I think that makes the most sense at this spot.
Honestly,
or maybe him, but
Hood is a bigger body, is what I kind of like about him. He's a taller guy. I feel like he's a little bit more rangy, and that's kind of what they need.
Okay. I agree with that too. Yeah. I like Cisse. I think I like he's quick, but I wonder if he might struggle in press coverage. And Colton Hood's at least he'll be able to get out there and get physical with people. Okay. Patriots. So they might need a wide receiver. I mean, Stephon Diggs might be going to jail. They had an interesting offseason. Let's see. Didn't really bring in they brought in Draymond Jones, but they lost Kayvon Chislon. They did sign Romeo Dobbs, so maybe they don't need a wide receiver. Not yet, at least. I think maybe defense a bigger need for him.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like a linebacker would be bad.
Could use a safety, an edge, a linebacker. Let's see. So, all right, I think for them, I'm between, they could go Rodriguez here. They've also got McNeil Warren and TJ Parker. I like Rodriguez. I do think these two guys are have higher upside and a higher ceiling.
I think McNeil Warren definitely goes in the first round. That's he will make a nice pairing with Christian Gonzalez.
That's true. He can also kind of he's got the size to play down in the box a lot, which I think
that could help and solve their linebacker issue.
And I think he's also be a really good blitzer, so help them get some pressure. So then we got the Seahawks, who've had a pretty mild offseason for the most part. Damn, bro. Joel is out. They brought back some guys in the secondary. So I think secondary might be good. I could see them looking to shore up the offensive line potentially with where is he? I don't think Pregnon is a 50th overall prospect. He's definitely their best guard. I could see them taking him there. or maybe a D tackle like Chris, or I mean, an edge player like TJ.
I'm thinking Pregnon, just because you lost your Super Bowl MVP running back, they gotta help their run game. Get in between the tackles.
Well, we only have time for the first. We'll do a longer mock draft review. Let's finish off. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to another episode of Telephone and Whistle. We'll be back next Tuesday to recap the first round of round of 32 if it's going on March Madness.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.